Good evening.
Good evening.
ベネット・クロダショーです。
はい。Bennett-Kurodaショーですよ。
東京ソングセレブレーションですね。
That's right, that's right. We're back
はい。
with another edition of the Tokyo Song Celebration series where we interview special guests based in Tokyo. Yeah. And tonight we'll be broadcasting our interview with Mr. Felix Sonnyboy.
Felix Sonnyboy さんが今回のゲストでございます。今回はね、7回目だと思います。はい。
This is number 7, friends. Number 7 of the Tokyo Song Celebration. We've had a number of fine Tokyo-based musicians here, haven't we, Daisuke?
そうですね。東京在住のね、外人さん、アーティストを毎回ゲストにお呼びして、今年になってからね、毎月火曜日、第2火曜日にやっております。まあ、今回ちょっと第2火曜日じゃないけれども。
That's right, that's right.
Basically,
第2
Second Tuesday.
That's right.
はい。
That's right. Doesn't always work out that way. But yeah, tonight's guest is someone that we were also happy to have at the live version of Tokyo Song Celebration back when we were doing that before COVID. And Daisuke just reminded me that it was August of 2019 that we had Felix Sonnyboy.
そうなんですよ。今日のゲストのね、フィリックスさんは2019年に浅草フグレンで毎月やってたイベントにも出てくれて、8月のゲストで来てくれました。はい。2年前ですね。
Yeah, 2 years ago, man.
すごいね。
Time just flies. I mean, this whole coronavirus, man, it just sucked up all the time. And where did it go, man? It just went out into outer space, man.
ね、なんかwe're in limbo だね。
We're in limbo, man. This is effing limbo, man.
完全に宙ぶらりんな状態になってしまいましたけど。
Welcome to limbo.
ね。
いや
ね、こんな状態ですけど、東京オリンピックが間もなく始まるということで。
That's right. Suddenly, it's time to start the Tokyo Olympics.
どうなんでしょう。日本のね、私はニュースとか、まあ、インターネットの、なんていうかこうツイートとかね、なんかそういうのを見てる限りはあんまりウェルカムな、リアクションを皆さんオーディエンスの人たちはしていませんけども。
いませんですよね。
はい。どうですか、そこら辺海外の状況というか。What about foreigners?
Well, I think for example, most of the foreigners that I know here in Tokyo have been very opposed to the Olympics, very against the Olympics happening. I mean, I know there's some foreigners who, say, yeah, let's do it. No matter what, we should do it. But I think I'd have to say that most of the people I know, most of my friends, seem to be against it. Against it happening. It's just, just seems like a bad idea, all around. We're in the middle of a pandemic. No one can even go to see it. It's just the whole thing is just the athletes are mostly just going to have to stay in their hotel rooms. I don't know. It's just depressing, man.
そうだね。
でしょ? It's just depressing. The whole thing is just like, why is this happening? It's a drag.
サムさんのね、お知り合いの海外から来てる方たちもですね、まあ聞いたところによると、サムさんのね友達もあんまりなんか喜んでないというかね、このオリンピックに対してあんまりこうよっしゃーっていうリアクションじゃない様子みたいですね。
じゃないね。喜んでない。
ポール・モリスさん、はい。Hi folks.
Oh yeah, it says spotted this just now.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, it says the post office lost my crumb book. Oh, that's bad. So this should calm me down before I call their customer service. Call customer service, Paul. You know, Robert Crumb, one of the great comic book artists, American comic book artists. And Paul, I think he ordered a special big coffee table book of Robert Crumb artwork. And the post office lost it.
郵便局でなくされちゃったんだ。
郵便局ね。
そうか。
やっぱりね、外国の郵便局は大体ね、ちょっと悪いよ。ニューヨークはダメ。
ダメだった。
ロンドン多分はなんかダメ。
ポールさんロンドンですよね。
London, that's right. Paul lives in London.
なるほどなるほど。あのね、the other day, I saw one car driving near my street, right? And it's 軽自動車わかります？
No.
軽自動車はなんだっけな、it's not a full size car. It's just a little bit smaller size car, and the number plate is a yellow.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of super compact
car, right? And
yeah.
I think it's a private Amazon deliver guy.
Delivery.
で、バックドアがずっとhangingだったの。
Why?
Like while he's driving, right? And I saw
falling
the
out in the
packages
street.
almost falling up. And then it didn't happen, so I was like, okay. I tried to stop him, but he didn't see me, so he just went through. But and after I walk like 50 meters, I saw the one Amazon box on the street.
Oh no, man, that's terrible.
Terrible. No, that's
terrible, man.
Yeah, he forgot to close the door, so
yeah.
But
that's bad, man.
I've never seen like that in Tokyo. I mean, in Japan. So, I guess very rare situation. But
it's pretty rare, man. I mean, generally speaking, delivery services in this city are top notch, man. So good.
日本のね、この郵送関係はすごくレベルが高いというか、ちゃんとtaking careしてくれるんで、信頼できるんですけど。
Very high level.
海外はね、なかなかちょっとね。
Well, it's kind of famous now how, leaving UPS in America, they leave packages at your door, when you're not home. Half the time they get stolen, before you get home. They're stolen like immediately after they're delivered, or they're delivered so late, and you got to wait around and stuff. It's pretty bad in America, man. It's like it's kind of a mess, really. So, when you live in Japan for a few years, you get used to a level of service which is so high. It's just so good, man. It almost makes you spoiled, to go back to, say, a place like New York or something, and have to deal again with a different level of service.
なんか in this pandemic situation, I can't imagine if post office if I have to go to the post office to pick it up my whatever Amazon stuff or things like that. It's pretty stressful.
Sure. And just generally things run so smoothly here that it does make your life a lot easier, less stressful, just like you say.
Yeah.
It's just there's not a lot of stress about that kind of stuff. But Daisuke, speaking of the Olympics, I don't want to get too deep into this because we're going to get to Felix pretty soon, but one thing that's big in the news right now, of course, is musician Cornelius.
はい、そうですね。コーネリアスの
Mr. Cornelius, yeah.
コーネリアスって日本ではやっぱりすごくね大きなバンドなので、そのねコーネリアスのバンドの方が今回オリンピックの曲を作曲するという役目をね。
Yeah, that's right. He was an official Olympic composer up until about a day ago when he he resigned, you know,
そうですね。
because of the bullying that he did years ago in school.
So
That's a big story, man. It's a big
that's
story,
big
right?
Story, and I didn't even know. But he in that interview was like 25 years ago or something like that.
Yeah. I think it was
And-
1995 or so.
Yeah, and also if I search him on Wikipedia, that interview thing is on it. So the problem is the Olympic guys choose him. That's the problem. Why?
Yeah.
You know, because it's gonna be like this.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's obvious, but anyway,
Yeah.
they picked him, and obviously, you know, it's big news, and he has to resign.
Right.
Uh,
Well, yeah, I mean, apart from the question of what he did, which sounded pretty horrible, really very, very bad. But apart from that, yeah, the whole the Olympic committee, it's so sloppy, man, that they chose him and didn't even run like any kind of background check or anything, you know?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
this is the Olympics, man. It's like the world is focused on the Olympics, you know?
Right.
And just to not, I don't know, man. You don't even check. I mean, for example, let's just call it like it is. If he had been caught with like a half a joint,
Yeah.
no, 25 years ago, no way would
Yeah.
they have, no way.
Yeah.
But okay, so there was no drugs, so it's okay. Anything
Yeah,
else
yeah.
is going to be okay. It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
It's just awful, man. All around. That really awful story all around. What he did and the whole Olympic deciding on him and not checking, man, it's so sloppy.
この this sloppy thing is actually very, very early point. It was already there because the logo design stuff, do you remember?
Yeah, that was totally sloppy. That was a mess. Yeah, it was a mess, that stupid logo thing. They had these logos that were just like stolen from somewhere else, They weren't even original, and they oh man.
Yeah, it was from the beginning, and it's
I
still,
know. And the bribes, the money that's under the table, it's just a big freaking mess, man.
Yeah.
And that's another whole reason why a lot of people, including me and probably you, are against the Olympics. I mean, it's not just because of the pandemic. I mean, it's just so many things about the Olympics are so just, what? Are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
So bad. But anyway, now it's about to happen. Shit. Oh God. Yeah. But anyway, I have to say I'm glad that the city is not going to be overrun with hundreds and thousands of tourists.
Right.
Because that would be bad.
Yeah.
At least that's not happening. But anyway.
さ
何
ルワンダかなんかの選手がさ、
ルワンダ
の
アフリカのルワンダ。
そうオリン
はい
多分
はい。
オリンピックのアスリートがone of the athletes が
has a COVID, right?
No, he escaped. He
he got out of the
Yeah,
quarantine or something.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to go back to the country. It's because it's so poor. So I want to start living in Japan and get the job or something.
see.
And so he just escaped. He just disappeared.
Oh.
And it was like maybe a week ago. And today, I think it's today. People found him.
Well, of course they're gonna find him. Oh my God! That story, I missed that. I didn't see that story.
I guess 確かねルワンダのアスリートだったと思いますけど、今日見つかりました。三重県で見つかりました。
Oh, really? They found him in Miyaken.
はい、
My God.
はい、
That poor guy. He was so silly to think he could just hide. Then again, maybe he could have. I mean, look, Carlos Ghosn, the most wanted man in Japan, flew out of the country in a box, man. So, it's a mess, man.
いやーすごいね。
Yeah. Well, anyway, on those happy notes, let's get to our tonight's interview.
はい、じゃあ、
Yeah,
今日のねゲストの、
Yeah.
フィリックス・サニーボーイさんのインタビューに行きたいと思います。
Yeah. Let's go.
はい。
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We have with us tonight our very special guest, Tokyo Song Celebration edition of the Bennett-Kuroda Show, the amazing Felix Sonnyboy.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you, guys. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks a million for having me.
Sure, man. We're delighted to have you. Let's see, Daisuke. When did Felix join us? When did Felix join us for the live version of this thing at Fuglen? When was
そうだ
that?
ね。
Do you remember?
多分3回目か4回目だったような気がするんだよね。多分
なるほど。
1年間やったじゃないですか。だから全部で12回やったうちのかなり前半だったような気がしますね。
So he was probably third or fourth month, maybe. Yeah.
で、it was first time to meet Felix です。
Yeah.
はい。
Yeah. That was your first time to meet Felix and to hear Felix. And I know you were quite impressed with what he was doing.
Yes.
And as is everyone who hears Mr. Sonnyboy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about here with Felix because he's got his wine, he's all set. We got a lot to talk about because this man has been quite the globe trotter, as is my understanding. And we're gonna delve a little bit first into the past of Felix Sonnyboy as a musician. So, Felix, take it away, man. Tell us anything you want to tell us about yourself, where you were born, what you've done, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I was born in Michigan. I was raised in Ann Arbor, which is a pretty progressive college town, So I was exposed to a good amount of diversity, a lot of stuff happening when I was younger. But the biggest thing in my mind that comes to how it got started was the car radio.
Oh.
So when I would be shopping with my mother saying to go get whatever groceries or got to drop the sister off at soccer practice or whatever, there was a radio station, 104.3 WOMC, and I'll never forget it. And they just played only Motown hits. So I was raised, from infancy to being in the car with the Supremes, with Michael Jackson, with, all the Ronettes, all that stuff. And I think, honestly, because nobody plays music in my family, that somehow listening to that music in the car for so long and on journeys and all the years that I got a buzz from it, or it somehow I could feel, wow, there's something out there that I'm not seeing, but I know it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, man. Yeah, radio. Let's hear it for radio.
Yeah.
I think that's been a big part of a lot of our earliest exposure to music, man. It was true for me in Birmingham, Alabama, for sure, man.
Yeah, me too. Actually, when I used to live in Los Angeles, I always drive in car, so always listen to the jazz FM or something, to discover something, I've never heard. So in America, I guess the radio thing is pretty big.
Yeah, well, because so many people are in their car, like Felix said. I mean, Americans kind of grow up in cars, man.
You can't live in America without a car. Yeah.
So your earliest kind of thing that turned you on was a lot of Motown.
Yeah, Motown music. I love Motown music. And then I guess I was about 16, and you know how they high school sometimes will bring in people to your school as like maybe even some of us have done, as what do you call it?
Kind of visiting artist or demonstration.
Yeah, visiting artist or something like that. So I was in some English class, and this guy named Chris Buhalis, he's a folk singer from Ann Arbor, came in, he had long hair, and he sung this song about the unions. I'm prisoner 309. I work the assembly line at the auto plant 12 hours a day. It was about Michigan stuff. But he was trying to be like Woody Guthrie. I didn't know who Woody was then, really. But I saw this guy play. He must have played 6 songs. All of them were in G. I'll never forget it. And they all sounded the same. But he struck me as such a great finger picker. I said, I want to do what that guy's doing.
Finger picking, huh? Yeah.
But he just came in and, just not the finger picking, just what he was singing about. And the storytelling and the whole thing behind that. I grew up, all my friends listened to rap. I can listen to rap, but this was different. Right? So this guy really changed my life, and I've actually been to his shows 7 years later and told him, you came into my high school and you changed my life.
Yeah, so he was coming out of the tradition, as you mentioned, of Woody Guthrie, and I'm sure that once you discovered Woody Guthrie and that whole sort of folk scene that was kind of he was kind of the center of a certain kind of scene of a kind of a hero for a lot of people, including I guess Pete Seeger and even the young Bob Dylan and all these people. So you started with Motown. You a light bulb went off over your head when you heard this Chris Buhalis. And when did you get your first instrument? Did you have instruments laying around the house, or?
Well, there was a banjo and a guitar on the wall, but nobody ever played them. They were more like just for show. But every now and then, my mother maybe would pick up the guitar and play a C chord or something. But my father couldn't whistle Dixie.
Interesting.
So my sister, same thing. No, nothing musical. But my mother actually back in the day used to be a tap dancer. But so they had these instruments on the wall, and I have to say I wasn't the best kid, so my parents wanted me out of the house as fast as I wanted to leave. So I left when I was 17, and I packed up the U-Haul truck and I moved to Vermont. And when I was leaving and I was looking around, I'd played a little bit of guitar, but not too much. I took the banjo off the wall and I brought it with me, and that's how I started to play the banjo. And I moved to Vermont and ended up living in Vermont for a while.
Now, why'd you go to Vermont? Just out of curiosity.
Just picked it off on the map. Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful environment. That's for sure.
Yeah. I just closed my eyes and I put my finger and I just moved to Vermont.
Cool.
Yeah.
And did you move to like Brattleboro, or was it a small town, or what?
No, I was in Burlington.
Oh, Burlington. That's the big town, right? Yeah.
And there was a really, really awesome cafe that's grown over the years. It's called the Radio Bean. And my buddy Lee runs that. And so when I moved to Vermont, I saw these people singing on the street. And I couldn't play banjo or guitar very well. But I went out there just to kind of spread the old time music that I was into, because really nobody was listening to it. This is before Oh Brother We're Out Thou and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Nobody was really doing this in 2001 or 2 or something. So I was out there singing, and this guy, he said, hey, why don't you come in my cafe and sing? I said, really? You think I can? He said, why not? Sure. And they really kind of, that's where I got my name, Felix Sonnyboy.
Now, is that just did you just pull that out of the hat from Sonnyboy Williamson or something, or somebody gave you that name, or what?
Well, these guys were a little bit older than me. You know, I was only 18 and they were 27, 28. So they'd always call me Sonny Boy.
You seem to have followed a dual path in your musical journey. One is, as far as I can tell, one is sort of doing, traditional tunes, Irish, American tunes, blues, country blues, and then the other is doing, your original songs. So you're sort of a songwriter and and it seems like you put about an equal amount of energy into both, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it's true. I love writing songs. I've been writing songs since I was 16. I'm almost 35 now, so I'd like to think that I can get a good one out. Yeah, recently I've been writing a lot of new music. I think the city's great for writing music. And so I've recently been writing a lot for a new album, and I haven't yet taken it out so much, so I can't really say how doing only original tunes, but I'll always throw in covers and stuff like that. But I've kind of stuck to the same set for a long time. It's just like you said, it's kind of a half-half. So people really don't know if it's an old song or if it's one I've written. So I kind of sneak them in there.
Nice. Your previous record album, is there covers in it or all originals?
The one I'm about to release?
The one before. I mean,
I think he means the one that's on YouTube.
Driving the car. Yeah, all my albums I've made are all original.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's on, like, if you go to my Bandcamp, you can see. I think there's 7 albums on there, and then we should have the other one hopefully by next month.
Well, we'll certainly drop a link to your Bandcamp page into the description below on this video. And it's always, we always recommend and we always encourage people to support artists on Bandcamp, because it's one of the best, if not the best thing going for internet music distribution, and given a pretty fair shake to the musicians in terms of the money split and everything. So glad to hear that you're a band camper.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody can listen to the music for free, which is
that's
great,
right.
And then they can buy it as well. So
exactly.
So you said there are 7 albums on Bandcamp.
Since about 2000, I think I made my first album in 2007. I'd say from 2007 to now, there's about 7 albums on there, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, nice.
And they're all different. There's a country album, there's solo album, there's a kind of rock kind of album. There's one just I play piano. There's a lot of different. Each one is in a different country or a continent.
Yeah. So. Well, you sent us the link to the album that opens with "Sail Away." It's the one. Yeah, it's the one where you're in the car. It looks like a vintage sports car, man. It looks like
it's an MG something. I can't remember the name, but it was just a borrowed car for the shop.
Yeah, cool.
And
cool.
and a borrowed dog.
A borrowed dog.
Oh, really?
You can't beat having a vintage car and a good-looking dog.
Yeah, both acting real well
on your jacket. I mean,
nice
that's gotta.
So, that album was the only album I've ever put on Spotify or I've done anything like that with. It's recorded and engineered by the guy playing the pedal steel named Jim.
I was curious about who's playing that slide stuff, because it's so good.
And he actually used to be the San Diego fire chief.
San Diego fire chief.
Retired in Kauai. So I made that album in Kauai. So I'd say when he took the solos, I'd say, "Take it, chief."
Nice.
Hey.
Well, there's nothing like pedal steel, man. I love that sound.
Yeah.
So good.
But the whole idea behind that album was I wanted to make a country album, real country album with the pedal steel, because in Hawaii they have Paniolo music, kind of country Hawaiian music. It's kind of big over there. So that's what we were trying to do with that album, was make kind of a country Hawaiian Paniolo kind of relaxed album.
It was very mellow, and I thought, well, there was like, some of it kind of feels like country folk, some of it kind of feels like country rock, almost. One or two tunes kind of vaguely reminded me of the Eagles, which and some other ones with the the kind of it's kind of like a folk rock country thing, and it was I wasn't expecting that.
It's a really nice vibe.
Well, to be honest, the reason why I like to make albums is because I was traveling so much. It was almost like I'm documenting my life. So in that time, I'm living in Kauai, so we're making a country album. Then I'm in Ireland, so I make an album with those guys, and that kind of documents what we're doing, right? Because that's our legacy. That's what we leave behind, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I hear you, man. So getting back to that, globetrotting, man, globetrotting. After Vermont, where'd you go?
I'll tell you what happened was I was in Vermont, and I was in Michigan waiting to go back to Vermont, and I got kicked off an airplane. They overbooked the flight, and I was thinking about it. You're 19 years old. They go, we'll give you $400 or a ticket to anywhere in America.
Oh.
And so I said, give me that ticket. So they gave me the voucher. I waited for the next flight. I went back to Vermont, and I called to go to Alaska, as far as I could go. And I got a one-way ticket to Anchorage, Alaska. And I just took a frame backpack and a guitar, and I just started traveling. When I got to Anchorage, I bought a bicycle. I started going up camping in the woods, just like into the wild, some stupid kid from Ann Arbor.
Nice. Excellent, man.
So,
I get the feeling you're a very, very intrepid guy.
Yeah.
Intrepid. So, that's your new word for today, Daisuke. Intrepid. Intrepid. It means sort of adventurous. You go out into the world. You're an intrepid traveler. You have no fear. You just get out there.
Yeah.
Is it なんか vagabond みたいな感じ?
Yeah, I think he's a bit of a vagabond.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. I've ridden freight trains before.
There you go. Yeah.
But so what happened was, I landed in Anchorage. I got a bicycle. I got the frame backpack. I started biking around. And then there's a ferry that goes down to Juneau and all the Alaskan islands. And it lands in the first port called Bellingham, Washington. It is called the city of subdued excitement. Okay. It is a wild place. It is completely gorgeous, but rains, about 10 months out of the year. It's about maybe 45 minutes from Seattle. But Bellingham is a huge music scene. So I landed there, and I was going to just bicycle to Mexico. But
long trip.
But the first place I land, I loved it so much, I just ended up living there.
Nice.
In Bellingham. Yeah.
So how long were you there?
I was there for off and on for many years. But what happened was I was in Bellingham, and I was reading this book, and it's talked about how much money buskers in Europe made. So I called my buddy in Michigan, a buddy of mine named Longleg Jones, and I said, hey, Longleg Jones, I said, man, I'm reading this book. Everybody's touring over there, making money on the streets. Let's go. And he said, all right. So we went to Paris, and we flew over there, started busking, busk on top of the Eiffel Tower, busk at Montmartre, Notre Dame, and then we busk all over Spain, and we just became street performers.
Cool.
And it was incredible.
Yeah, that's great experience, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
did you actually make money to survive in Europe and Paris for that trip?
This was in 2006. I mean, people had so much money. They were throwing like the $2 coins like they were pennies. Money was flying around. So we put all our coins in socks, and then we go to the bank and dump out the sock and get but to be honest, we made each show. We would do a show in the morning, a show in the afternoon, and a show for the drunks at night. And we would make usually about 300 a show. 300 euros.
Sweet, 300 euros.
So we had so much money. We were, it was funding us to go to the next place, and we were making more than people would make in normal jobs.
Wow.
Nice.
And what the act was he was a real tall guy, and he played 12-string guitar, and I was a small guy. I played the banjo, and he sang high like our Garfunkel, and I sang low. We did all Carter family tunes, only gospel songs. And
crazy.
we would have like the whole Las Ramblas in Barcelona, 300 people standing around clapping to these gospel tunes. And then the police would come and say, "Dormente, dormente, people are sleeping. You're blocking." Like we were causing like traffic. You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
So those were beautiful times, great times, and there's a lot of like details and other funny stories that happened then. But basically, my friend, he couldn't afford the rent anymore at his house. We went back to Michigan, and I was collecting all these records. So I'd gotten into record collecting. So I heard about Irish music. So I said, you know what, man? I'm going to take the boat from northern France up to Ireland, and I'm going to go see these people. And it was just incredible. I just fell in love with the people, with the stories, with the cult, I mean, the whole thing. They're some of the best people on earth.
And then so you were in Ireland for a while, right? We're going to run a video today, I believe, on the show of you at a cafe in Ireland.
Yeah.
So you must have hung out there for a while and done playing in the pubs and all that kind of stuff, right?
It was 7 years. Off
7
and on.
years. Oh yeah, okay.
7 years, and off and on. And I had a booking agent who basically would book me a different. It'd be like a different prefecture every weekend, right? But they're called counties. So I would go to County Donegal for the weekend. Then I go to Galway, and then I've been to every county in Ireland. I think there's 34 or something. More than Irish people get to see. They say, Felix, you've seen more than Ireland, and I live here.
はい、フィリックさんのインタビュービデオを見ていただきました。
Part 1 of our interview. Part 1 of our interview.
いや、すごい面白い。すごい面白い。すごい面白い話がいっぱい出てきました。地図を出して、そんで、なんか目つぶって、ここに行くぞって言って、そこに行ったりとかさ、あとは、ヨーロッパでストリートミュージシャンをやって、そんで1日になんか1回のショーでなんかもう300ユーロぐらいそのパフォーマンスで。
Yeah, they were doing great. They were doing great on the street.
すごいよね。
Yeah, man. That's about as hell. That's about as good as it gets, man. You know? You can play every night in Tokyo. You won't make anywhere near that much money.
そうだね。そうだね。
Well, when he was talking about about playing, on the street in Europe, it reminded me of myself because I did a lot of that too.
そっか。サムさんもヨーロッパのツアーソロでやってたよね、確かね。
Yeah, a lot of solo tours, but also like in venues and clubs and stuff, but also playing, on the street like he was talking about as well. So. Yeah. I used to do a fair amount of playing on the street in Europe, especially in Italy at one point, and in Holland and Belgium at another point. And playing on the street could be good. It could be, the money could be really good, for sure. And these days, I don't know how it is, and it takes a lot of energy. I think it's a good thing to do when you're sort of young, I don't know if I'd want to do it now,
そうだね。
playing on the street that much. But yeah, that's a good thing to do, man. And it was just really interesting how Felix, was very adventurous. Just got out into the world and started playing his music, bars, pubs, on the street, whenever possible, right from the beginning. And I think that's what it takes, to be a musician, and to you focus on music and you do what you got to do, and he's obviously done that, right up until now, for sure.
でコメントがたくさん入ってますけど、サムさん読みますか？
Oh yeah, let's check them out. Let's see. We got some comments that came in. Paul was talking earlier about how his Robert Crumb book got lost by the post office, and he says it's apparently in Belfast, Ireland.
なるほど。
Yeah.
惜
And
し
then
惜しいんじゃない？近いよね。
yeah, that's close. It's not, in Australia or Indonesia or something,
まだ近いね。
Yeah. And then we have Lula Bennett who says, Paul, we received a Christmas card from a friend in the U.S. in April. I can verify that is true. A Christmas card, we received it from the United States in April. And it was postmarked twice. First in Bloomington, Indiana, in the USA, and then some town in Australia. So, in America, they sent it to Australia. It's like, it's a foreign country, just get it out of here. Put it on the boat to Australia,
すごい。
Yeah. Then we have Lex Miller, who surprisingly says, what does he say? What does Lex say?
Peace.
Peace. Lex believes in peace, as we all do.
Yes.
Yes. Paul says, haha, Lula. Recently a friend ordered something 100 miles north of London. It went to Chicago and somewhere in Texas first. Good
Nande?
God. That's crazy.
なんで？
That's crazy.
どうやったら
I mean,
そうなの？
it went from England to America
It's
in
overseas でしょ。
Chicago. That's crazy. That's just crazy.
どうやってやるの？
There's no explaining that. You can't explain that. Good Lord. And Paul continues, old jokes home. A British man today won second prize as being the world's most traveled air passenger. First prize went to his luggage. Boom.
わかんないですね。
Well, it's a joke. It means his luggage traveled even more than he did.
なるほど。じゃあ、luggage
yeah.
must be has a lot of miles で。
Exactly,
Free travel
exactly.
だね、now.
Exactly. The luggage has more miles than he does. And it seems that Felix is with us tonight.
Hey,
maybe Felix is watching. Felix.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He says, "Nice graphics, Sam. Very cool." Yeah. I have a lot of fun with those graphics, man.
Yeah.
Adding little bits and pieces.
Yeah, like the banjo came up and
Right.
yeah,
Banjo.
and the Motown stuff, or it's
Motown.
fun. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice
yeah.
editing, man.
We might have some people out there who don't actually know what a banjo looks like.
Yeah,
You know?
we kind of talked about that when Johnny Barefoot was our guest, right?
That's right,
We
that's
were
right.
talking about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of people aren't really still aren't that familiar with even what a banjo is. They have some idea, but they're not always sure, And then they see it and they say, "Oh, that round thing that the hillbillies play." Right. And then they go, that's a banjo. Yeah. Now, speaking of banjo, later at the end of part 2 of Felix's interview, we're going to run a lot of his music.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that's going to include some of his banjo playing, some of his guitar playing, some of his pipe organ playing and nose flute playing.
Oh.
Actually, that's not true. There's no pipe organ. There's no pipe organ. There's no nose flute. No. But he does play a lot of different instruments, and we're going to hear from some of his music a little later.
By the way, tonight BGM is of course Felix Sonnyboy CD.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
It's black and white, kana?
Is that black and white? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the black and white CD that we were talking about earlier in the interview, where he's behind the wheel of a snazzy sports car. Yeah,
With
a handsome dog.
Yes.
With dog. Yeah, man. So that's been the background music. That's been the BGM tonight.
Yes.
For the interview and stuff.
はい
Good. I mean, for our
リンクがね、ディスクリプションエリアにありますから、his Bandcamp.
Oh, good. Thanks, man. You got his Bandcamp down there. Yeah, we urge everyone listening, always, to especially go to Bandcamp if our musicians that we're talking to have music there, because it really is the best thing going. It's just the best thing going, isn't it? And for internet music, and so please, yeah, check it out. Check it out. Oi. So one thing before we get to part 2 of the interview, Daisuke, I think we should mention that next month we're going to continue with Tokyo Song Celebration. You know, this format where we interview a foreign musician living in Tokyo. But we're also going to do a little bit of a return to the Bennett-Kuroda show. And we decided that we'd do a little bit of talking, especially on that show, about cooking and food.
はい。来月8月のですね、2週目は東京ソングセレブレーションやりますけども、その後3週目、これは多分17日になると思うんですが、我々のベネット・クルダ賞を久しぶりに復活しようということで、テーマはね、料理ということで、はい。話していきたいと思うんですけども、特に日本で手に入る食材だったりとか、なんだろうね、日本で例えばベトナム料理を作るにはどうしたらいいかとか、どこで買えるのかとかっていう情報を個人的には教えてほしいんですよね、見てる人にはね。So I'd love to know if I want to make a burrito or something, how and where can I get big tortilla, because you know, Japanese tortilla is like, you know, this much small. It's not even wrapped, you know.
Yeah.
To make
you can't do it.
Yeah, I need big fat burrito.
Big burrito. We need a big burrito.
Or maybe, you know, like, you know, very special Chinese black pepper, or you know, whatever, like some special thing, you know, we can buy in Tokyo, or you know, how to get, or any recipe とかね。
That's right. We're going to be talking about cooking in Tokyo, and where to find some choice ingredients. I know that Daisuke loves to cook. I love to cook, and we're gonna compare notes about what kind of stuff we're cooking these days. And where we're finding our ingredients and that kind of thing. Yeah. But now, so Daisuke, that's going to be what, August
17th?
What's that? 17? August 17? Yeah, double check. Hey, who's that handsome guy on the video just behind you there, Daisuke?
That's my vlog.
What a handsome dude. Who is that? Your vlog. Now, that's another thing, y'all. Daisuke does a daily video blog, a vlog, daily, every single day.
Yes.
He makes a vlog and he records his life.
Yes.
So those of you who want to check out the life of Daisuke Kuroda, you can do it every single day. Now, Daisuke, that is, of course, pretty much in Japanese, your vlog.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
80%, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm in like Ismatic, the metal project. It's you know, Jeff Curry and other foreigners in the band. So if that episode, probably 80% I'm speaking in English, but
there you go.
if me myself, talking is, I guess, Japanese.
Of
all
course,
Japanese.
it's going to be mostly Japanese, sure.
Yeah.
But I know that there have been a lot of episodes that where you do, if you're working that day with Jeff and Ismatic, or maybe you're working that day with me back when we were doing a lot of live shows or in rehearsals and stuff, then I know you'll also use a lot of English in those vlog broadcasts. Yeah.
So right now it's running all Tokyo Song Celebration 2019 at Fuglen.
Okay.
So
that's
on the playlist, my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah. Y'all check that out too. At Daisuke's channel, which is where you're watching this right now, at the Daisuke Kuroda channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and you can find a playlist there that's completely dedicated to the Tokyo Song Celebration editions of his daily vlog. So, Felix is in there, Marcellus Neely is in there, Sorsha Chisholm is in there, all the people we've had, so many musicians we've had over the couple of years that we were doing it. And hopefully we'll get back to doing it live at some point. We'll see. We'll see.
Still Tokyo はstate of emergency でしょ。
Yeah, it's still a state of emergency, and Lord knows when will it ever end. We don't know.
This is fourth time です。
Yeah,
はい。
fourth.
4回目の
Good God.
緊急事態宣言をやっております我々。
Yeah, fourth. I think there's a Bob Dylan song called Fourth Time Around. Must have been about this state of emergency in Tokyo.
Is there a fifth time on the lyrics or?
Oh God, no, I don't think so. No, I think it ends with the fourth.
Okay,
yeah, so
じゃあ little hope there だね。
Maybe we're okay. Please, Bobby Dylan, please.
ね。
Yeah, so next month, August, we've got August 10, we've got Tokyo Song Celebration, and we're not entirely sure who our guest is going to be, but we'll announce that. And then August 17, we're going to have a special Ingredients in Tokyo show of the Bennett-Kuroda experience. Wow.
Yeah, I'd love to have a lot of comments to teach me where or how to buy stuff or make stuff.
That would be nice, man. That would be nice. Hopefully we'll get a group of people watching who are also into cooking. And say, oh, you got to check out this little shop in Ochanomizu where I go to get my Vietnamese tangerines.
そういうの。
Yeah.
なんか前にね、サムさんからね、ヨーグルトで、サワークリームみたいなやつを作るよっていうそのレシピを教えてもらって、その時にね、なんだっけな。なんだっけスパイスなんだっけね
ディル
そうディルウィードっていうやつが、
ディルウィード、
必要だよっていうことで、近くのスーパーをね何軒も探しました。3個4個スーパーないんですよ。1個もないです。かなり珍しいんですよね。でも最終的には手に入ったんだけど、その匂い嗅いだらこれまさにサワークリームじゃんっていうスパイスだったから絶対必要なものだったんだけど、ちなみにそれはね通販で買ったんだけど、楽天かなんかで買いましたけど、結局は上野でしたね、ショップは。上野のなんか多分スパイスショップなんだと思うけど、そこから買いました。
Is that in Ameoko?
アメ横だと思います。はい、アメ横だと思います。
Okay. I'm pretty sure I know this shop you're talking about in Ameoko.
そうだ、こういうやつ、I need to know those kind of ね、アイディアがちょっとね、コメントください、お願いします。
Those special little places, because Tokyo is full of little places that you will not know about unless you're just in the neighborhood, So, but it's a super big town, and some little street in some area of town, I mean, you're just never going to necessarily just find it, you know, unless you're over there regularly, right?
そう。
But yeah, man.
例えばさ、シシカバブ食べたいって言ったらどうしたらいい？
Shish kebab. Shish kebab.
うん。
I think these days, man, there's some Middle Eastern places, some Turkish places opening up.
ね、ターキッシュレストランとかさ、
Yeah,
そ
yeah.
う、なんかおすすめありますかっていうようなね、そういう話がね、コメントいただけたら楽しいなと思うんですけども。
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're gonna make a lot of notes about a lot of this kind of stuff, and we'll be having an interesting discussion about it next month, August 17th,
はい。
Tuesday night, 8 p.m. same time. Tuesday seems to be a good day because nobody's doing anything.
うん。そうだね。
8 o'clock. We start at 8. You know, maybe you've had dinner already. So anyway, tune in.
ぜひ。
And yeah, what do you think? About time to get back to part 2 of Felix?
Sure. じゃあ、
Yeah.
フィリックスさんのビデオ、インタビュービデオのね、パート2を、ご覧いただきたいと思います。パート2の最後には、フィリックスさんのパフォーマンスしているビデオがいくつもありますので、お楽しみにということで、では、パート2いきます。
いきます。
なんかなんだっけ、アイルランドに7年ぐらい住んでたんでしょ
7年。
長いよね。
長い。
僕はロサンゼルス6年ですから、7年は長いですね。
Yeah. Well, you know, basically what I would do is I would tour all year, and then in the winters I would go to Kauai and live in Hawaii, and then I drove back.
へえ。
That's a nice life.
It was extremely nice life. Yeah, it was for someone, you know, who was only 24, you know, to have tours and you know, I toured other countries as well, but you know, Ireland was my main place. So
Yeah.
but to have even a tour when you were 24 and you know a bit of a fan base, even as small as it was just, I was blown away by it. So because they really support the artists over there. They support musicians. They support that. They know how important it is.
Yeah.
And they value it. That's the difference.
Yeah. Nice. So after 7 years in Ireland, roughly, and spending your winters in Hawaii, then did you pretty much come over here?
Yeah, just got married, had a family, came over here, met my wife in Hawaii. She was on holiday, and then I just moved to Tokyo.
Oh, okay. And so exactly what year did you come here? How long you been here now?
Must have been 2017.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe. I really don't know. I'm really bad with that kind of stuff. I can remember songs, but I can't remember people's birthdays and dates and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, you've been here for, I guess, about 4 years now, maybe a little longer.
Yeah.
And so far, I know I know for one thing you work quite a bit with Ramblin' Steve Gardner, Mississippi Blues Man.
Yeah.
You two have really seemed to hit it off nicely musically, and I think we're going to put some video, a clip of the two of you on, if that's good for you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about working with Steve.
Oh, well, I mean, it took me to come to Tokyo to meet someone that knew the guys that actually wrote the songs I was singing. You understand? Right? It took a long time to find him. I'll put it that way. You know, I've been looking for Steve. I've been looking for this guy.
Excellent.
So he knows, and like we talked about, you know, just appreciates that kind of old time music, and I've always loved it, and I love all the backstories and all that kind of stuff, and he's like an encyclopedia for all that stuff. So it's kind of like a dream come true for me. Excellent. To even sit down and have a cup of coffee with him, because he just, you know, he knows all the stuff that I would kind of, I'd have interesting conversation.
サムがSam sent it to me influenced artists.
That's right, yeah.
I saw the one female singer. She was holding a completely upside down guitar.
Yeah,
so his her two-finger picking style is pretty unique because the style, the two fingers is also interesting, but the strings order is upside down. So that's why pretty interesting her sound to me.
Yeah.
So I was curious.
What
about Steve?
I sent Daisuke a little bit of homework to familiarize him a little more with the kind of traditions that you're coming out of, Felix. And I sent him some Elizabeth Cotton. So that's who he's talking about with the two-finger thing.
Just speaking on that note, I played the What the Dickens on Saturday night in Ebisu, and it was a really great night. And I just started to cover, it's called Shake Sugary.
Oh, yeah, that's one of her
that is just
iconic tunes, yeah.
For some reason, there's just so many tunes I play, but I've somehow missed it. Now I've kind of gotten in, and I love to play that song. It's it's such a great tune.
Great tune. I think it must be a real crowd pleaser too, man. It's just
It was the first time I did it actually on Saturday, and it was really cool. Went over real well.
Yeah, such a happy tune. I recently heard what's her name's cover of that. She's huge now. Rhiannon Giddens. Rhiannon Giddens. I think she put that on her latest album. My daughter's a Rhiannon Giddens fan, so I was checking. And I was checking her version of any number of traditional tunes out, and she was doing Shake Sugary. Yeah.
Well, she does one of my. There was a Irish opera singer back in the day named John McCormick, and he lived in the middle of Ireland in Athlone, which was where I was kind of based. And I love this guy. He's like a 1920s kind of Irish singer. And she covers, it's called Molly Brannigan. If you have the chance to check it out, check out her version, or his too, of Molly Brannigan. But she did just an unreal job of covering that tune. I've never heard anybody do it. Nice. And I was shocked when I heard her cover of it.
Cool.
She's really good.
The other guy that I sent Daisuke some music to check out.
John Hurt, kana?
Yeah, Mrs. John Hurt.
Well, that's how it all started, you guys. Basically, there was a record store in Ann Arbor, and I was like 16, and I just kind of gotten into the music, and the guy with the big beard in there, and you always talk about music with, and he goes, "Well, what are you looking for?" I say, I just want some old style kind of finger picking. And this guy went to the shelf, and I was 16 years old, and he handed me the immortal Mississippi John Hurt.
Yeah.
And that it changed my life.
Yeah. I figured that must have been a huge influence, of course. Anybody loves finger picking.
So, I knew that everybody strummed guitars. Everybody strums them, but not many people were finger picking. So I wanted to learn about, so I would sit there and I'd press the button and then I'd play and then I'd stop it and then I'd take the record and I'd take it off and then I'd play again. So I did that for years, right? Yeah. That's how I kind of learned how to. I've never taken a lesson. I've never taken a formal guitar lesson. I just taught myself off the record. So I can't read music either. So that kind of thing. I'm more in that kind of learned way, right?
So since you came to Tokyo, did you make a record yet, or next one will be the first one?
I made one. Well, actually, I guess I've made two, or maybe three. Geez, I can't even. I got a lot of stuff. So I guess the first thing that happened, I knew one guy when I moved here. Just one dude. That's all I knew. This guy named Morgan Paul Williams. And we have a connection, mutual friends from Hawaii. So I think he somehow knew I was here, and I contacted him. And first time I got here, Mikey O'Shea, the violin player, Irish fiddle player, him and I got together at the pubs, and we made this band, the Flower Pot Men.
Oh.
Just as soon as I got here, I was in a band with those guys, and we did like that Peter Barracon's live magic show and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we were steadily, you know, plugging along, and then things were going different ways, and Mikey was doing more Irish music, and then Paul and I would play as a duo, and then Mikey and I would play as an Irish duo, like at the Irish Embassy or some of these kind of functions and things like that, Irish pubs. So I made one record with them in Chigasaki, called it the Chigasaki Sessions, and then that's kind of folky kind of stuff. But I also have another project I call Mr. Tears. I did it's kind of Hawaiian ukulele, real mellow kind of indie folk, and I got Ayako and her cello player from the orchestra to kind of do strings behind it, and you can also hear Mr. Tears on Bandcamp. Mr. M-I-S-T-E-R.
Mr. Tears. Yeah,
Mr.
actually,
Tears.
I've got that Mr. Tears, and I listened to it a couple of times. You've got cello on it. I remember that.
Yeah.
And it's very moody stuff.
Yeah.
I recall. Yeah.
It's what I like. I mean, I don't like to always make it, but it's kind of you know, I guess influence Nick Drake kind of stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I've, you know, put the strings behind a full orchestra behind a ukulele.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of ukuleles, you've got like a whole like mess of them back there, and it's kind of a cool looking collection, man. They have all sorts of shapes and stuff. There's a heart shaped one. I've never even seen one like that.
Yeah, there's stuff going on here. I just can't believe I've been fortunate enough to meet someone that runs that music shop in Ochanomizu, and basically he can't sell these ukuleles because they have little small things, or they can't identify them. There's no marking, so they don't know even how to price them. Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm fixing these ukuleles and giving them all to my daughter's friends in Yoyogi.
That's
so it's been a great success, and we're thinking about kind of turning into called the maybe Felix Appleseed project, where I take these old instruments or instruments that are going to be thrown away, and we get them in the hands of families and kids or anyone who doesn't have the opportunity to have an instrument in their house.
It's great.
Nice. Yeah,
it's been really fun. So I've probably passed on, I'd say, about 15 to 20 instruments in the last few months.
Wow.
So it's been great to see the parent. Wow, thank you. And then they send me little videos of the kids playing.
Oh, sweet.
It's really special, because like Chris Pujalas, you just don't know. It could be that one thing in someone's life that they could then end up playing piano, or might be in choir, or you know. So that's kind of a new project I'm working on with these ooks, and they're all about from the 1920s. Just they're pineapples. So a lot of them were made in Hawaii. There's pineapples, there's coconuts, there's palm trees. There's a big palm tree one. And they're all from about there's a mandolin up there you can kind of see. And if you turn it around, it's a ukulele.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
You got to show us that, man. Can you show it to us?
All right.
見せてください、それは。
Yeah, let me see that.
リバースじゃん、リバース。リバーシブルじゃん。
This is from 1929, August 6, 1929, New York City. So you think about who was playing this, right? Some trickster, because then they do the tricks, but then they flip it over.
Oh, wow.
That's hilarious.
And then they flip it, right?
That's
すげえ。
You can flip it over.
nice, man.
So
すごい。
pretty cool.
That's hilarious.
I
I've never seen anything like that. Both sides.
I haven't been able to do like any like double, triple flips yet, you know. But I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to flip it real good. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
すげえ。
So, but I'll probably use it because it has such a great sound.
Yeah, it sounds good.
I'll end up using it for probably the Irish band. Because I can do a few just a few things on the mandolin, but yeah, this is really unique. I've never seen one.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen anything like that. That's crazy. Strings on both sides. I've never even heard of anything like that ever from any country. Nothing.
This it's called N2Turo. Turturro. They were a famous New York City instrument manufacturer.
Crazy.
And they made, and if you look up this Tuturo, you see some of these things at auction go for a lot of money. But it's amazing. This guy just says, hey, you know, I can't sell this. I don't know what to do with it. So at least someone will play it, or yeah.
That's incredible, man. That's great.
I'm supposed to get about 3,000 more ukuleles tomorrow.
Oh wow. I have many ukulele students, so you know, you gotta send it to me some.
Cool. Yeah, you know, Daisuke does a lot of music teaching. Ukulele and guitar.
Yeah, I guess at this point it's just so much fun. I love to fix the instruments. I'm not that great of a, but just changing the pegs, because if a child gets a ukulele where the pegs won't stay, they just won't play it, right?
Yeah.
So I for aesthetic purpose, I'd love to keep the old pegs in, but I try to change them out, give them to the kids, and and so I'd say about half of Yoyogi have ukuleles now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And speaking of little kids, I think we've heard once or twice the voice of your daughter maybe in the background.
Yeah. I think she's having dinner, I think.
Oh, nice. And so your daughter's like about 4 years old now or so?
4 years old. We did our first show in Shimokitazawa.
Beautiful. That's a great age, man.
You know that area that's kind of the food, where there's the food trucks and there's a little stage there now?
No. I haven't been to Shimokita in more than a year.
In Shimokitazawa, probably since the last 2 years, right on the railroad track, there's a little green area and a lot of food trucks and outdoor areas. So they had a kids festival, demonstrations and things. So Sophie and her friend, we set up 2 mics for them, and we did our first concert, and we did Itsy Bitsy Spider and stuff. But it was a thrill to sing with my own child on the stage, for sure.
Sweet, man. That's fantastic. Yeah. Terrific.
The company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. Picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. Loaded 16-ton, number 9 coal. Straw boss holler, damn your soul. You get 16 tons. What do you get? You get another day older and a deeper in black. St. Peter, don't you come? I can't go. Oh, my soul. The company store. I was born one morning in the drizzling rain. Fighting and cheating is my middle name. Fist of iron, fist of steel. Right one don't get you, then the left one will. 16 tons, what do you get? You get another day older and a deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. Oh, my soul, to the company store. You get 16 tons, what do you get? You get another day older and a deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause I can't go. Oh, my soul, to the company store. and look at the blackbirds and look at the good luck, look at the bad luck. Look at the good luck and the bad luck fair. Never seen a bluebird messing with blackbird. I never seen a bluebird playing it backward. Never knew true love could ever be so good. Look at the blackbird. Look at my doorstep, look at my doorstep. Look at the bluebirds, look at the blackbirds, and look at the good luck, look at the bad luck. Look at the good luck and the bad luck fair. Never seen bluebird messing with blackbird. Never seen bluebird playing it backward. Never knew true love could ever be so good. Look at the blackbird. Well, look at my doorstep, look at my doorstep, look at the bluebirds, look at the blackbirds, and look at the good luck, look at the bad luck, look at the good luck and the bad luck fair. Never seen bluebirds messing with blackbirds, I never seen a bluebird doing it backward. Never knew true love could ever be so good. Look at the blackbirds. Thank you. Well, a cuckoo is a pretty bird, and she wobbles as she flies, and she'll never holler cuckoo till the 4th day of July. I've played cards in England, and I've played cards in Spain. Your bottom dollar, I'll beat you next game. Hey. Jack a diamond, I've known you from old. You robbed my poor pocket of my silver and my gold. Well, a cuckoo is a pretty bird, and she wobbles as she flies, and she'll never holler cuckoo till the 4th day of July. I'm Felix Sonnyboy. This is Ramblin' Steve Gardner. This is the Whiskey Blues. Got the whiskey, you got the gin. Got the whiskey, you got the gin. Let's both, baby, drink, get drunk again. Hey, whiskey, what you say, gin? Hey, whiskey, what you say, gin? Oh, baby, drink, get drunk again. Well, it makes no difference how drunk you may be, just long as you don't stop, baby, loving me. I got the washboard, you got the tub. Got the washboard, you got the tub. Put them together, baby, we'll rub to rub. Hey, boy, hey, what you say, tub? Hey, boy, hey, what you say, tub? Put them together, baby, we'll rub to rub. Well, it makes no difference how tired you may be, just long as you don't stop, baby, rubbing me. Got the whiskey, you got the gin. Got the whiskey, you got the gin. Let's go, baby, drink, get drunk again. Hey! You got the gin, got the whiskey, you got the gin. Let's go, baby, drink, get drunk again. Hey, whiskey, what you say, gin? Hey, whiskey, hey, what you say, gin? Oh, baby, drink, get drunk again. Well, it makes no difference how drunk you may be, just long as you don't stop, baby, loving me. I got the whiskey, you got the gin. Got the whiskey, you got the gin. Let's go, baby, drink, get drunk again. Oh, let's go, baby, drink, get drunk again. Go, baby, drink, get drunk again. Whiskey Blues. Woo!
Hi.
Oi. There you have it. Some of the music of Mr. Felix Sonnyboy.
はい。
Yeah. Some solo stuff and working in that last video with Steve Gardner
はい。
playing the washboard with the green gloves.
はい。そうですね。なんか
Yeah.
バンジョー弾いてるやつもありましたね。
Yeah,
フィリックスさん
that's
が
right.
で、
Yeah,
最
the
後
banjo.
に出てきてたのはスティーブ・ガードナーさんっていう、まあ、インタビュービデオの中でも出てましたけども、まあ、フィリックスさんがやってるこのカバーっていうかね、そのオリジナルのすごい古い、アメリカの、まあ、トラディショナルな楽曲なんですけども、なかなか日本でそういう人たち、知ってる人たちにね出会うことはなかったんだけど、やっと出会えたんだよって言って、確かにスティーブさんはそういうのを専門でやってますからね。だから2人のそのコラボレーションの動画が最後に出てきてましたね。でこうウォッシュボードってこれあれは洗濯板ですかね。洗濯するやつだよね。
古いの洗濯物。
パーカッションでこうやるんだね。
Yeah, man. Well, that was a pleasure having Felix, talking to Felix, and checking out some of his music. So we urge everyone listening, everyone watching out there, to check out some of the links below and check out Felix's music.
Bandcamp.
And yeah, buy records, man. Support the arts. And yeah, we want to thank Felix for joining us for that one. And yeah, we want to say we'll be back August 10 and August 17.
はい。
Two Tuesdays in a row. We'll be back next month.
8月はですね、 10日が東京ソングセレブレーションでまたゲスト、まだちょっと決まってないんですけども、またゲストをお呼びして、第2火曜日8時から東京ソングセレブレーションで、その次の週17日が久しぶりに、ベネット・クロダショーで、東京で、おすすめの料理的なやつですね、どうやって食材買ったらいいかとか、どうやって作ったらいいかとか、そういうのをね、皆さんとチャットでね、コメントいただいて話していけたらいいなと思っております。
はい。じゃあね、Daisuke, it's been a pleasure as always.
はい。
Spend a little time with you and all you folks at home. Thanks for tuning in.
はい。
We'll see you next time.
じゃあ今日もありがとうございました。それではまた来月。
来月ね。